First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next. You found us at postwrestling.com. Maybe you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever podcast app you're using right now, or maybe you're watching us
live on youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, YouTube room. How are we doing?
That's right. We're so live. We're live right now. We're live in most we're just so live. We're the two live crew every Tuesday night. That's us.
Do you ever have premonitions by any chance?
Whoa, okay. We're starting with that. Why? Are you gonna die?
So I'm setting up. So I've had this like new laptop for what, 2 weeks now, 3 weeks maybe. It was time for an upgrade. Wanted everything to run better, wanted everything to be smoother, these podcasts look better, run better, way more storage, etc. But I get nervous, right? So I'm bringing cups of water for the show. I always have 2 when we're doing this, maybe another drink, a caffeinated drink or a bubbly or something like that. And I'm just like, whoa, okay, just be careful. Don't want to knock that over. And one of these cups, I use these wrestling cups, these NXT takeover cups. I've got this one
the fine
squeezes easily, right?
Oh.
So it's a little flimsy. So I was bringing it over and was like, oh, better keep that away from the laptop, otherwise something will happen. And then setting up the camera, elbow, away from the computer, but water everywhere. So I threw a towel down, quickly set up, and then sat down, ready to go, ready to press play, and then trod in the water in my socks. So I've just whipped my socks off because wet socks are the fucking worst. But I saw it happening. I was like, this water's going to go everywhere. And sure enough, it did.
Did you get a backup water? You okay?
I've got 2. I've got
hydrated?
2. I'm good. Yeah.
I got a water. You know, I haven't used since now living with the girlfriend, the wrestling cups, they're put in the fine china cabinet. I bust them out once in a while, but
along with your skulls.
Well, I still have my skulls. You know, I love my skulls.
All right,
yeah,
okay.
They have been the skulls have been toned down, definitely. But I went to the States, and we don't have this store in Canada called Hobby Lobby, and it's basically just a giant. I love Hobby Lobby. I'm thinking about it all the time.
My mum was the biggest fan when she
really
went to the
okay.
States.
Oh, when you go to the States,
loves
right?
the Hobby Lobby. Yeah.
So they have pretty cool stuff. It's the girlfriend who wanted to go for arts and stuff, but they had Godzilla stuff, cool stuff for dudes too. A lot of American stuff, but they had these classic restaurant style giant cups that you get at bars or Olive Garden or whatever.
Soft drink. It's the Virgin
Golden Corral,
cup.
yeah, the giant red cup. And now, I bought one of them for $1 or something at Hobby Lobby, and now I wish I bought 10 of them because it's my good luck. This water cup ain't flimsy. It ain't ever fallen over.
It's sturdy.
Yeah, knock on wood. But it's my favorite cup now. So does everyone have their own? I have favorite mugs. I have lots of those, but favorite cups, man.
There's always that thing
man.
when you have a friend come over and they're like, can I help myself to some water? I'm like, yeah, great. Help yourself. Cupboard's there. Yeah. Take any cup. And they always pick the weirdest fucking cup. Everyone always picks the one of you with Maria Kanellis when they come over. They don't even know who you are. They're they just pick a copy. I've got glasses. I've got actual water cups, but they're like, no, I want this random teenager with this beautiful woman on my cup.
So yeah, many years ago, Way made a mug, and it's a picture of me and Maria Canellis, and is it still at your place? I guess my girlfriend didn't want that one at this place. That's fair. You're keeping it warm for me, keeping it warm. But I'm glad it's getting some use in the BDE. That's good to know. But I am also drinking a bubbly, some Mario Galaxy blueberry pomegranate. I don't know. It sounds.
It's wild. Okay. Yeah, I've had that one. It's okay.
It's not my favorite, but I'm all on.
It's no cherry. Cherry and apple are the top tier, I think.
Same, like I've been into the flavored, like, what are they called? Like bubbly water, sparkling waters and stuff like that. I've been loving those up. So yeah, I love the Liquid Death, but we don't have them in Canada either. So I want to try to get some of these, but
you can find them. They're pricey, but yeah.
We went out this past weekend, and to one of the like tents and setup things at the like this little festival, Due West Fest in Toronto, but we were too late because we had been bar hopping, street party hopping, and band hopping and everything. When we finally got to this one stall, and it was the Strong Zero, and we got there as they just tore it all down. I'm like, oh man, they're apparently giving them out for free and everything. I'm like, oh, I gotta get. They're not Strong Zeros, but the like vodka sodas that are coming. So
I tried the Sapporo one.
Oh yeah,
didn't love it. Too sugary, too sweet.
It's not the same. Yeah, the other ones are a little bit better. I do love them. The other ones though are so weird because I keep calling them Strong Zeros, but it's like -98 or weird name, but they are good. But you are good if you're listening to us right now because you're an NXT friend. And all the NXT friends assemble here on Tuesday nights at Post Wrestling. We are upNXT. We are Braden and Davie. We are also known as Poisonrana. While you're listening, do us a favor. Go search us in your Insta, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok even, and even Poisonrana.ca. But at Poisonrana Pod, give us a follow and check out all the other stuff that we got going on. We talk about NXT here at Post Wrestling, but we do a whole lot of other stuff. And the wrestling never stops. And more importantly, the talk, the dirt sheets, the rumors of wrestling never stop, because I felt like today felt like an old school, I don't know, giving me throwbacks to late 2010s, late 2010s, and then like 2023 type era where the internet wrestling community is just talking about CM Punk. What in the world is going on with CM Punk? Interesting.
Yeah. We kind of had a segment on Poisonrana a few weeks where I kind of questioned you, like, what's going on with CM Punk? He's been away a while. The build to WrestleMania was all about him always being there and him doing the live shows and him doing the tours and Roman not being there. And then he comes out and cuts that promo after WrestleMania and saying about, I might have lost, but I'll always be here. He's advertised for European dates, etc. Then there's news coming out about, these 50% cuts, and people have theorized which top talent have been asked to take these, etc. But he's not been on TV since Mania. It's been a few months now. A lot of us assume he's coming back for SummerSlam, maybe. But finishing Raw last night and seeing how these King of the Ring brackets are going, I'm not so sure. And then you sent me a couple of tweets earlier being like, oh boy, the CM Punk rumors are going around again. And as of right now, on June 9th, Tuesday, June 9th, that's exactly what these are. So, we are not John Pollock. We are not journalists. We are people that just talk about wrestling and talk about shit going on. But is there smoke? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Is like what's going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like CM Punk in the world of wrestling is like Taylor Swift for men. Like we just can't stop talking. When's he gonna come back to WWE? That was the question for like 6-7 years. When's he gonna come back to wrestling? Oh, he's in AEW. Oh wow, he's in it. Okay, and then he punched some guy and choked someone out, and there was a dog or fight or something. Something happened. Few things happened. Oh, now he's gone from AEW. Oh, now he's back in WWE. And Is he gonna fight people in WWE? And like the talk never.
Now he's fighting
stopped.
fans.
It's always he's the talk of the town when it comes to wrestling. That just seems to be the most talked about. Controversy creates cash. We've heard him in interviews. He loves it. He says, as long as you're talking about me, then you're helping me put money in my pocket. And totally think he is one of the more popular stars that just people love the dirt and all the talk and the gossip and the dirt sheets and the rumors, sometimes more than they actually like the wrestling. You know, like there's a huge portion of fans that don't even watch the wrestling for the wrestling. I'm not just talking about WWE fans, but you know, I mean, some people love this kind of stuff more so than like the actual shows and the matches and stuff. They love the workings and the behind the scenes and the backstabbing or what's going on with this person and contracts and whatnot. And I think maybe this is something being blown out of proportion. And I'm just referring to just today being on, Twitter or some Instagram posts of just, this is just merely people posting rumors and they are saying these are rumors and no claims, no nothing, no one's reported anything, but people are saying like, maybe there is something going on with him since WrestleMania. Now I remember he showed up on the Raw after, right? That was the last time we've seen.
That was the last time we saw him, Raw after Mania.
Yeah. Okay. So he showed up on that show, and then since then he's not. People online have been posting some videos and stuff of him looking swole, looking jacked, like a jacked punk. So that instantly tells me, of course he's coming back. He's probably coming back for a huge SummerSlam match. So all this stuff online, and there's just people out there now. I've seen actual, reporters and people in this, internet wrestling community space, if you will, who have posted like there is nothing reported and it doesn't look like there is anything going on. But a lot of other people are like, oh, people are just fans are jumping to conclusions and turning one thing into another. Like, oh, maybe he's not happy with the way he was portrayed, or maybe the pay cut stuff. There's so many different things that people are just hurling out that have no merit to whatsoever. But being devil's advocate, it's like I actually do not believe any of this. Like I do think we will see him wrestle at SummerSlam in a stadium. He 100%. I'm just saying I could see that happening. But what some people online are saying is like, there is something going on with whether it's not so much creative, but maybe it's a TKO thing. And maybe there is something behind the scenes, whether or not involves pay cuts. I could not believe pay cuts. Like this guy is at the top of the totem pole, but I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I think I have a feeling where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So I brought this up a few weeks ago. I'm like, it seems a little odd. We brought it up. He was at the Ronda Rousey Gina Carano fight recently, which seemed a little odd. Yes, it was on Netflix. Yes, Netflix are partners with WWE, but TKO runs UFC, and this whole Gina Ronda thing was a very anti-TKO UFC promotion. Like the whole build for it was Ronda going,
fighters.
We're paying our fighters proper money and all this. I believe Punk when he says, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money, and I think he played ball for the first couple of years. Now, things I find curious is, AJ Lee comes back. AJ Lee teases programs with all these women she'd like to wrestle. And she has 2 singles matches with Becky, War Games, and a singles match on TV with Bayley. I think that's it, right? Like, I might be missing one other, but yeah. And then she's been away since Mania. Now, maybe Punk wasn't offered a 50% cut, but maybe AJ Lee was, and maybe that would upset him. There's rumors about something he pitched creative-wise that maybe upset some people. Think going back, there was at one point we're like, why does it feel like we're building to Pat McAfee versus CM Punk at WrestleMania? You know, there was all that stuff going on. There's news today of Pat McAfee getting a $60 million a year TKO contract going on with ESPN or whatever. Like it's, I don't know. I don't necessarily think he's gone, but you can put together a little bit of a timeline of events happening. I do think that those Pat McAfee, Ari Emanuel comments on Raw, I felt was a bit of a shoot. The fact that he was pulled from those European dates, the fact that apparently we just don't have creative plans for CM Punk right now. How do you not have creative plans for CM Punk? You know, you've got creative plans for Maxine Dupree, but you don't have creative plans for CM Punk. I don't buy it. I'm not necessarily saying he's walking. I'm not necessarily saying we'll never see him again, but it's been a long time that he's been away. Like WrestleMania to SummerSlam is quite a long time to be gone. And if he is coming back, it will be, I think there's a Chicago date coming up soon. So CM Punk Chicago, probably then. But I am curious. I'm putting my tinfoil hat on a little bit, but you know, this guy's got a track record. And you have AJ Lee disappearing. You have him fighting fans in Vegas. You have him calling out the president of the company on TV. There's some things that maybe, I don't know, there could be, as I said, smoke to this fire.
Again, I do think
fire to this smoke, whatever.
Yeah. This fire burns always. That smoke, the CM Punk smoke and fire will always burn. People will always talk about this guy. Like in 30, 50 plus years, I don't know how long this guy goes till. People will still be like, when's this guy going to get back in the ring? What's going on with CM Punk? People always want to know what's going on. I do think this is all just some smoke and just people assuming some things. I do think he is just coming back, and there is something because, like, look, it's him coming back around the lead up going into WrestleMania 40 added to the luster and the lore of like how popular WWE seemed to get back on track of being like hot as it ever could be with Punk coming back on everything else and with The Rock wrestling a match, the Cody stuff, like firing in all cylinders. And then of course, like his injury, I think him coming back has been a success for WWE, and he has been one of the biggest stars and the biggest draws since returning. I haven't personally loved the run. I feel like this guy is a complete different person or character that he portrayed to be for many, many years, and why people attach themselves to him. I've talked to many friends who and fans and other people who are always like, man, like, you know, he's kind of a bit of a sellout. And that's not necessarily just talking about the whole AEW stuff, but think of the Saudi Arabia stuff to coming back to WWE in full, just in general. Like there's so many things you can go through and look at and kind of question. And his whole thing was, you know, being the voice, the voiceless, this and that. So I've definitely been one of those people that I'm not necessarily too invested in not loving him in WWE thus far. But again, he is one of the more popular people. And if I want to join you and put a little tinfoil on my head, like how crazy would it be if there actually was him putting his foot down or, you know, applying some, what's the word, workers' rights, and maybe saying, you know what, I am not going to be this TKO puppet and this and that. Again, this is me talking crazy. Like this is not happening, but
so
to poke the bear a bit, like, yeah, maybe there is something going on, and we can get that Hangman CM Punk match, that Kenny CM Punk match, Wembley.
Well, no, I just want to go back a little bit. Like, when he came back to the company, like he had an issue with Vince. He had an issue with Vince and Triple H when he left originally, right? There've been things that have come out recently that he did have a meeting when he was doing the Fox deal and WWE Backstage or whatever it was. And there was a meeting, and Triple H, like people put things together, and it was maybe Triple H who was like, oh, this guy hasn't changed. He's the same as he was back in 2014 when he walked out the company. Fast forward a few years and Vince is pretty much gone, but it's pre-TKO, Triple H in charge, and Punk is like, oh, things seem different here. The culture seems different. This seems a way more positive place to work. It seems a better place for the wrestlers. There's more time off. People aren't banged up as much. Like, this is a good place to work. And then TKO takes over, and I think gradually we've seen it become more and more corporate over the last couple of years. I think, like, the fact yes, we can call him a sellout, and we both have in the past for doing the Saudi Arabia thing. But there's been a bit of, like, yeah, you're going to make your money. You're going to eat some shit, though. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe if him or his wife has been asked to take any sort of cut, that might have rubbed him up the wrong way. He's a hothead. We all know that. And it's a different company now. Like, him calling shots at TKO on TV seemed a little strange. And the other thing I think is how many times, like, top stars disappear all the time. Roman Reigns, like, again, Punk was calling him out on TV for taking time off a lot. Most of the time, Roman Reigns left TV for a bit. It was, oh, Bronson Reed's taking him out with 3 tsunamis. And Roman Reigns comes back. He does an angle for a little program for 6 weeks. And then, oh, my God, the MFTs have taken out Roman Reigns and he's out of action. How many times in the last couple of years have we seen Roman Reigns taken out to write off TV? Punk came out and was like, yep, I lost. I tried my best. I lost. I'm going to be around. And then he's not even been spoken about. With the NXT show, we will get into NXT later. How many times have people been, like, fired and released, they're in the middle of a storyline in WWE and they can't even say their name? You just see Indy Hartwell looking sad and looking at her wedding ring because Dexter Lumis got released. But God forbid she says, oh my God, Dexter Lumis disappeared. My husband's left me. It's just, oh, I'm sad. They haven't mentioned CM Punk. And
it could
the
be
only
deliberate.
time we've seen him, maybe, but
either
wouldn't
way.
You write him out? Wouldn't you set up a little angle or something? They teased that match with Cody, and then he's disappeared. And now we've got King of the Ring, which we'll get into in a bit with the brackets advancing. But I'm not going as far to say this guy's quit, this guy's walked out, or whatever. I do feel there's something going on there.
I like the guy would get some merit points and maybe some street cred back if there was some sort of truth to any of these rumblings of him, because maybe he does want to push back. Like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to be the I don't know. There's a few different reasons why people don't like him in this version of him especially in 2026. So I don't know. He's coming off a great WrestleMania main event, like, concluded that story with Roman Reigns. I think there's still so much money to be made. Maybe he's banged up. I don't know what the story is, but I do just assume he shows up soon rather than later, and we do see him at SummerSlam and so forth. Maybe we don't see him all the time and he becomes a part-timer himself, but still, like, I just don't know. I would like to see him rock the boat a little bit and show his spine again, like, be the guy that he claimed he was, instead of just being the guy who just kind of really, I mean, he told us he loves money. It just kind of comes across, this company feels that way, and he fits in perfectly. So maybe he realizes he doesn't want to. I don't know. I genuinely think this will all just be some smoke and disappear because he'll show up on Raw this week or something. But I imagine he wrestles at SummerSlam. And if I'm wrong, I'd love it. Actually, I think that rocks the boat and makes things interesting and makes people have these same conversations yet again about CM Punk and what's going on and is he in WWE and this and that and this and that. Like, maybe that's the reason they're doing this and not speaking his name, to get the fire and the rumblings, and only to get a big return back for, like, a big match or something. Maybe he returns at SummerSlam. Who knows, right? But I do see him just coming back to work, essentially, workers' rights. But
Okay, now, hello, we are Poisonrana. We do a show every Sunday called Poisonrana. We'll actually be going live at 1 p.m. on Monday next week. You're celebrating your grandfather's 90th, I believe.
Yes, yes. I know it's Father's Day in a couple weeks, but my Portuguese Gramps turning 90 this Sunday. So the fam's getting together, having some Portuguese food. So this Sunday we won't be doing a show, but Monday at 1 p.m. on Poisonrana live on our YouTube. Again, search us in your YouTube, give us a follow, check out all the other shows. We do a free show every week. We just did one on Sunday. We talked all about some King of the Ring tournament brackets. We talked about the Owen Hart tournament, including Mercedes Moné returning on AEW Dynamite. We previewed Forbidden Door. We talked about everything in the world of wrestling, even some New Japan, everything going on. We talk about it. And this upcoming Monday, we'll go live at 1 p.m. with a new one. And we'll talk some more about some Dynamite this week, some more maybe what happens on SmackDown, and anything else going on in the world of pro wrestling.
So yeah, we were talking on Sunday about King of the Ring, and we were kind of giving our predictions going forward to SummerSlam, and I think we both kind of came to the conclusion that we're getting Seth versus Roman, and Seth wins King of the Ring. Now, obviously, there are 2 championships that can happen, but Javon Evans advanced last night on Raw, and again, like kind of going into that CM Punk talk we were just saying, where CM Punk Cody felt set up after WrestleMania, Raw after Mania. Is that the SummerSlam match? Is that WrestleMania next year? Now, are we doing like either Obafemi wins this whole thing, challenges Roman, wins the title, and the Brock match is further down the line? Or we talked about maybe the possibility of both those things happening. It's 2 nights. Maybe Oba just does double duty and wins the title and beats Brock and retires Brock in the same weekend. But there was that tease of Jey Uso and Cody, which isn't something that personally interests me, but they put it out there and they teased it. Now, if that is a case, could that add fuel to these CM Punk rumors, if you know what I mean? That if Cody's SummerSlam opponent is going to be Jey, and you could still get to Roman Seth, although it seems like Seth is still tied up with the Vision. Does that write Punk off for this SummerSlam?
Yeah, I don't know if you would do Punk and Cody at SummerSlam. I feel like you would wait for a big WrestleMania like next year or the year after that even. That's a long time, though, to hold off on the biggest match they can give us now. Like, there's no bigger match that WWE can do other than Cody and Punk right now. No, absolutely not. We've done Punk and Roman now one-on-one. And
I'd say at this point, Oba Roman is your next
Roman,
right?
Okay. Yeah, there you go. You could do something huge like that. That's a big one. I still think Brock's got to get involved, and maybe Oba still ends up facing Brock and retires him or something. I don't know. I think that would be the best case. And if anyone does retire Brock, it should be Oba, get that giant rub. I mean, we thought he did at WrestleMania, but yeah. Or is it just Jey Uso? Jey Uso versus Cody, and that's just...
Is it just Jey v. Cody? You could still get a Roman v. Seth.
This is your warning shot.
Oba v. Brock.
Yeah. I watched, I didn't watch all of Raw. I do feel bad because I do want to watch Rey and Penta. So I'll probably put that on after while I'm editing the show tonight. Because that could have been a WrestleMania match. That could have been a AAA like main event. Like that should be down the line used for a big, I mean, like 2 of the biggest luchadors in the company in wrestling history, dare I say. And just a random match on Monday Night Raw. Pretty cool. So I did, though, watch some of the King of the Ring stuff. I did watch Chad Gable talk to the luchadors, but Jey Uso and that warning shot thing, I'm like, I think it might be Jey Uso, but yeah, I'd rather it be Obafemi.
You know what? I actually thought it was a pretty decent episode of Raw. I thought they did a good job in hyping up the next King of the Ring 4-way that involves LA Knight and Jey Uso. We were talking about on Sunday about how, man, we kind of like LA Knight, and it's a shame he's not featured more. And I thought that was a good way of, adding some speculation to that match coming up on, is that SmackDown? I think that match. I've enjoyed all these 4-ways in the King of the Ring tournament. I think that's something WWE actually does very well, is producing multi-man matches. Like I always think they're pretty entertaining. Rey versus Penta was very enjoyable, and Chad Gable, the Chad Gable Redemption Apology Tour, as I'm just reading, AJ Styles says, if WWE doesn't push this guy, they're dummies. And yeah, I think that's something quite exciting as well. Like, will we see Chad Gable kind of climb up a little bit? So I thought Raw was pretty enjoyable, and I am enjoying that. Think we said about the Owen seems very predictable, and this King of the Ring, the fact that we spent a portion of this show and a portion on Sunday speculating on ways they can go, I guess has been successful for them.
I would love to see Chad Gable get a run. It would also be hilarious if he actually just ends up turning heel again. Because Rey Mysterio, the clip is him being like, hey, by the way, I know you're apologizing and we accept it, and now you understand Lucha and you did a fantastic Lucha match. Like, they praise him. But then Rey reminds him, I'm paraphrasing here. Rey goes, hey, just remember though, you were a bit of a cunt before you put on the mask too. So, yeah. You got some things to fix before. yeah. Like, you still weren't cool before that. So maybe you need to look even further. So that's probably what they're referring to. Like, go sort things out with American Alpha and whatnot. So, hey, if this is an opportunity
Alpha
to help
Academy, but yes, with the NXT guys.
Yeah. Great tag team. Throwback. Ready, willing, and Gable forever. I would love to see this somehow be the bouncing board for him to just get this. Give him the IC belt at least. Like, I know Penta's caught up with that right now, but I don't know. Like, give him something that can sink his teeth into, and maybe down the line we get a rematch with him and Grande down the line. But yeah, Chad Gable isn't. He should be pushed right now after that match. People are praising it, and it's getting a lot of love still. So. That would be pretty cool. Anything else from Raw, like with the King of the Ring and everything?
We had Liv Morgan advance, so I think we've got Io versus Raquel in the tournament, and then Liv's going to face the winner of, is it Charlotte, Jade, and some other scrubs? I can't remember, but I think maybe Charlotte advances.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Women's tournament I'm not quite as interested in, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have the wrestling never stops, because like this week is not a big pay-per-view week, but then we have Great American Bash and like an AEW pay-per-view, and it feels like there's still a lot of stuff to look forward to, and then eventually SummerSlam as well, and then like All In down the line. Now Redemption in Montreal being announced too, so. Summer, I always feel more guilty when I'm inside having to watch stuff, but at the same time, if it's good and everything, then it's okay. But tonight's NXT was pretty good, so I didn't feel so bad having to come home and watch it. But yeah, the wrestling never stops, and we will be talking about the King of the Ring, the Owen Hart, AEW Dynamite, some Collision maybe, and everything else in the world of wrestling. Search Poison Rana in your YouTube, your podcast app, Poisonrana Pod, and give us a follow and check out all the other stuff that we do. We have tons of free shows. I just recorded a new episode of The Detox with myself and Jordan Goodman from The Wellness Policy, which I believe is also returning in a few days as well on the Post Wrestling feed. But Jordan and I talked about some random stuff. We never go in preparing anything. It's just a stream of consciousness, and hope you enjoy. But then we have tons of wrestling related stuff. We put out freebies on the free feed, including old reviews and whatnot. And this upcoming Monday, 1 p.m. live, we'll talk about everything else in the world of wrestling. But we have a Patreon, and great time to sign up. $5 to become a friend. You get access to all the shows we're putting out this month in a month's access for $5. But you get access to all the past shows, including all the movie reviews, all the episodes of Was Next, where we are going through the old black and gold NXT for you real NXT heads. We recently reviewed the July 24th, 2014 edition featuring Charlotte Flair, Rusev, and Adrian Neville, Rusev Macha. We got Vladimir Putin references from Lana.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. There's a whole lot. The Ascension, Tyler Breeze's hand modeling incident. Everything going on in the world of old NXT.
Yeah, hangnails suck, don't they?
Oh, right. That's how he got the injury. Yeah, that's right. We've been having a lot of fun with What's Next. If you're an NXT fan, maybe you have watched all the way back, or maybe you're someone who's jumped in recently or in the last, we're in 2014, so that's about like 12 years ago. We're talking of NXT, and we're going through on this journey. So we do What's Next series. You get access to all of those. We do Best Match Ever. We've done a bunch of different gimmick ones and wrestler related ones, but Tanahashi we did, and Hulk Hogan recently. But because of some things happening in the next few weeks, including a Great American Bash and a King of the Ring, we decided this week we're going to look back at a retro King of the Ring, and we're going to go back 30 years to the King of the Ring, 1996. Oh, yeah. You talk about your Psalms and your, what is it? What does he say?
John 3:16.
It's the best promo. Yeah. I don't remember it clearly enough, but it's gotta be. It's on every damn wrestling shirt when they go to your town and they put Toronto 316, Austin 316, North Carolina 316. That's right. We're talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin, the birth of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is the epic, not only the epic promo, but the start of the rattlesnake and just the rise of Stone Cold. And I'm really excited. Have not watched this show.
I don't think I've seen this show
ever
before.
Front to back. Oh, I've watched is it Jake the Snake, right? That's the match, right? But
I've seen the promo a million times, and I don't think I've ever seen this pay-per-view all the way through. So really looking forward to this. It makes a whole lot of sense. It's King of the Ring season. It's 30 years since as you said, the birth of Stone Cold Steve Austin as we know him, Austin 316, all of that. We're going to be recording this on Saturday and putting it out there. And I'm really excited for this one.
Oh man, look at this. Stone Cold versus Jake the Snake. Ahmed Johnson versus Gold Dust. Oh. Ultimate Warrior versus Jerry Lawler. What the? Oh my God, yes. The New Rockers, Leaf Cassidy and Marty Jannetty versus Skip and Zip, the Body Donnas. And in the main event, the British Bulldog versus Shawn Michaels for the WWF Championship. Oh, also Mankind and Undertaker. Wow, this is a stacked show. It's a stacked show. King of the Ring, 1996. We're going to be reviewing it this weekend over on our Patreon. And then sticking with some old wrestling and old reviews, because NXT is doing a Great American Bash, we thought, hey, why don't we stick to 1996 and go back 30 years to WCW Great American Bash. So I know our friend Jesse from the Six, a very big WCW enthusiast. We're hoping to get him to join us for this one because he loves his old school WCW. So some good retro wrestling reviews coming in the next few weeks. And then I'm proposing something else. I was watching Jimmy Kimmel the other day, and he had on WrestleMania Legend. Now I'm not talking about Snooki. I'm talking about one of our favorite matches ever that I wish I was at live. Oh man. Johnny Knoxville. And he's promoting Jackass The End. Like, this is the final, which I didn't realize is actually, they've already filmed this movie. This movie is coming out in just a few weeks. It is they say they are now too old to continue doing this, and this will be the curtain call, like the final Jackass movie with everyone involved. And it's coming out in a few weeks. And I'm wondering, would it be a good idea to review the OG, the original Jackass film? Is that something Is that something you'd be interested in doing?
Sure. I've only ever seen the first one, and I think I got it from Blockbuster when some friends came over for a birthday in, what is this, like 02, the first one, something like that. Why not? I'm down. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. I'm down. I grew up watching not only the movies, but the show on MTV. And it inspired me, and I'm sure lots of people from our generation and maybe generations now with the new movies and stuff. So I'll definitely be going and checking out the new movie, but I think it would be a lot of fun to revisit the original. I think it must be like from like 2000 or something. There must be some sort of
like 02, wow. The original. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay. Well, there you go. Some retro wrestling and Jackass, the original movie review. A few pods coming out in the next few weeks over on our Patreon.
One last bit of housekeeping as well is Patreon were a little sly, and they changed the way we upload podcasts without letting us, or maybe they did let us know, and it's just like the multiple census letters I've been having come through the post that I've just been ignoring until yesterday. But yeah, I believe some of you have been missing some of the podcasts which have been on the actual website Patreon, but maybe weren't pushed through to your RSS feed. So a new episode of Behind the BDE is out there for our World Champion patrons, and also our NXT TakeOver review, the first TakeOver, that should be pushed into your RSS feeds as of today. So if you ever have issues, if any shows don't show up, it's Patreon have kind of changed the way they do things. Do let us know. You can always just download them directly from the site, but there's like a little extra step that's a little sneaky that we weren't aware of. So a couple of shows might be missing for you, but it all should be up to date now.
Check out the Patreon. We have so many like years of shows on there, but there's everything on there, and there's everything for everyone. Different movie reviews, TV show reviews, wrestling, like playlists. We compile stuff for you. Our Tanahashi one, we make a playlist. Hogan, we talk about old school wrestling matches, and we have a lot of fun over on our Patreon. So if you've never checked us out, it's $5. Buy yourself a month of podcasts, and it helps buy us a beer. So there you go. Keep the lights going on. We have a wrestling weekend. I guess our next one is Montreal. You have a flight already booked for All in Wembley. I have not. I'm on the fence, but you're poking me, saying, "Come on, well you can't quit." So hopefully
finish the story.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. I hope that I can make it to Wembley this year. So hey, you want to help? Buy yourself some podcasts at patreon.com/Poisonrana. I saw a great advertisement for a match that I swear if this was the main event of WrestleMania, I'd be like looking at flights, because for the first time an indie promotion in LA called MFN Lucha on July 5th are doing first time ever Luigi Primo versus Santana Jackson.
Oh,
dream match right there. That's the most DDT match to not happen in a DDT ring right there. The guy who makes pizza when he wrestles versus the Michael Jackson impersonator.
Isn't Luigi coming to Demand Lucha as well?
He is. Great segue. Shout out our friends at Demand Lucha here in Toronto. Luigi's coming, I think, in the summer, like August or something. But if you are listening in the Toronto area, this Thursday night in Parkdale, downtown Toronto, Gringo Loco versus Arez El Clone in a Lucha ladder match. That's going to be absolutely crazy. All the peeps at Demand Lucha put on an amazing show every time. And I'm going to be there this Thursday. I can't wait. I can't miss that one. I'm
hoping I can get off work in time. It's the first day of the World Cup. We really don't know what's going to happen, but I am working early, so I'm hoping I'll get cut, because at least to see the main event.
Can't miss the base god. Yeah. Those two are like best of buds, but even better enemies. And I know just the other night we were talking about on Poisonrana that Riot Lucha match with like Bandito and Gringo and stuff. But Demand Lucha, if you're in the Toronto area, check them out. You can also check them out on their socials and stuff, luchamarket.com. But this Thursday night, they're putting on a lucha fight in Parkdale, and it's always a fun time. But yeah, I guess we can talk about the show we are here to talk about, and that is some WWE NXT from tonight, Tuesday, June 9th, 2026. And we kick things off with a recap of everything that's been going on. All the new people, the new blood, Mason, Rook, Naraku, one-on-one tonight. We have a title match in our main event, Tatum Paxley and Zaria, and so much more. But the first thing to start the show, NXT icons, NXT legends, former NXT tag team champions, Nathan Frazier and Fraxiom, return to the Performance Center in Florida to take on the team of Noam Dar and Romeo Moreno. Look at these grizzled young vets here coming back to NXT to help the younger talent of grizzled young vet Noam Dar and 22-year-old Romeo here.
Smashing them, cracking them, body count tool, stacking them, racking them to the maximum. Say it out loud with Fraxiom.
Right.
What a fucking awful theme song.
Is that a kid rapping it?
I mean, their old one was terrible. Like the awfully like Frazier's theme going into Axioms or whatever. It just never went. But this is somehow worse. It's bashing them, we flatten them. Streets of Rage is where we're from. Long live day, start counting them. Your time is over. It's the Fraxiom.
Streets of Rage is a sick video game, though. But yeah, I don't love this theme song. Yeah. It's kind of weird because it's like Axiom's gimmick. Now we know NXT knowledge because we've been doing this for a while. His gimmick was he's a superhero who loves math, right?
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the super villain who was also into poetry, right? Let's not confuse the superhero landscape of NXT. But his gimmick was he was really fast and he's all about like math and numbers and everything. But he's also a superhero because it was supposed to be like Trey Baxter's superhero gimmick, but instead we got that.
That's right.
But now he also raps. I just picture him rapping this while wearing the mask and a turtleneck.
I don't know. I don't think he raps.
He does. He doesn't. I just like to, the best themes back in the day would be the themes that sound like it would be that person singing it, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's just how I imagine.
You just think this is a kid singing.
Yeah, we need a music video where they're rapping this. Maybe we don't. But, yeah. Fraxiom returned to NXT, and they're taking on Noam Dar, Romeo Moreno. So Dar's returned. Romeo's the new kid on the block who's just such a big fan of NXT UK. So this is, that's not a joke. That's literally been his gimmick so far.
That's his thing. Yeah.
I guess this is his dream match here in more ways than one because he's in the ring with 3 NXT legends. So really fast action here from really everyone in this match, like not missing a beat. All the Axiom and Frazier keep tagging in and out, and Noam Dar is doing some fast submission attempts and ankle lock picks and whatnot. Axiom hits a drop kick to the nose, so Dar tags Romeo in, and he's no slouch when it comes to being fast. So he's just like zooming in this ring, and eventually sends both of Fraxiom to the outside and hits his giant springboard dive that we've seen him do to both of them. Eventually, Noam Dar goes up and he hits a moonsault, which Vic and Book and myself, I think, even at the same time, were like, oh, we don't usually see Noam Dar do like moonsaults and jumps to like the outside like that. So that
I did find it funny because they're like billing like this Romeo guy as this crazy high flyer, and he does that crossbody off the top, which is fine,
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, Noam's not known for high flying, and hits a beautiful moonsault, which I thought was so much more impressive than this dive Romeo did.
So Dar gets back in the ring and he's trying all these different submission attempts. He does his like back arm cross breaker. It's broken up by Frazier, who does a big super splash move. There's then a super kick counter into an ankle lock from Dar, which was nice, onto Frazier. Romeo then gets onto Axiom, and Romeo then comes in and gets the same thing onto Frazier. Eventually, Axiom accidentally super kicks Frazier in the face, and as he's saying, "I'm sorry," it allows Dar and Romeo to hit this like double, almost like what is Takahashi's move, like the time bomb or the plunger or whatever. It kind of looked like that.
A kind of brainbuster almost.
Yeah,
like cradle driver
cool.
sort of thing.
Yeah. It's a 1-2, but Frazier kicks out of it. I thought that was it for sure. There's then a bunch of dives from Romeo, but as he goes for the same one as you mentioned, where he springboards and jumps really far, but this time it's scouted by both. Fraxiom super kick him, send him back into the ring, and Axiom hits Romeo with the golden ratio, and then Frazier hits the Phoenix splash, still one of the more impressive moves in pro wrestling. And 1, 2, 3, Fraxiom return to NXT and get a victory over an old friend and a new one here on NXT. But yeah, Fraxiom reminding us of how great they really are as a tag team and how fast these two guys, all four guys, really put on a really fantastic opening main event here on NXT. I thought this was nonstop action, no pun there, like just so fast, so quick, and everything looked really good. And I miss Fraxiom. If you're not doing anything on the main roster, come on back down. The water's fine in Florida, you know? This was great. This is my match of the night, actually. Like there was some good wrestling on tonight's show, but this was great.
This match, like, it started off good. It was entertaining throughout, but there's a point towards the end where it really amped up, and you could hear the crowd getting louder and louder as the near falls were happening. And, you know, I just said, I think WWE do multi-man matches very well, and that includes tag teams with people of this speed and caliber. Their timing was great. As you said, there were a couple of, like, that double team move that Noam and Romeo hit, like, thought that was it from that. Some funny lines on commentary, though. First of all, Vic Joseph saying, "You can see this Friday night on SmackDown." Vic, I watched SmackDown. No, you can't. Like, if you want to see Fraxiom doing bad acting backstage, absolutely tune into SmackDown. I can't remember last time I saw them have a tag match, at least a tag match of this caliber on Friday Night SmackDown. And then WWE have made a real good job since that El Grande Americano match of really selling it. We mentioned last week they put it on after Raw, continued mentioning it throughout last night's Raw, you know, with the Chad Gable apology tour, a big feature on Lucha Libre on Raw last night, really selling it. And I think Booker was trying to sell the match as well, but inadvertently didn't come off that way, because he's like, everyone was talking about that mask versus mask El Grande Americano, but this is what wrestling is all about. And I don't think he meant it that way, but it definitely came across that way. But God bless those two. But yeah, awesome match to open NXT. And I think we've said the last couple of weeks, there's been some nice story development on the show, but we've kind of been lacking the wrestling a bit. And this definitely wet my whistle when it came to that.
This felt like the old school, like Fraxiom. We were here doing every Tuesday night NXT, and Fraxiom were like at least the one thing on weekly NXT TV. You were getting actual wrestling and a cracking match, and I felt like that old school Axiom. Which just sounds weird. These guys look. The one guy looks like a Power Ranger, and the other's the Kurt Cobain looking guy. Is that someone called them that? Was it Grayson Waller or someone? Like the look is fine because these guys wrestle like so impressive. And I don't know what it is, but like having them do silly acting in these segments and the way they've been presented thus far isn't the way to get them over. But their wrestling and their storytelling in the ring is something that could. And I don't think like WWE see that. And I don't know, like tag team wrestling in the last 2 years, it just has dropped to the wayside in WWE. And I don't care if there's reports of this and that about, tag team wrestling. Like then show us and like use these people. These guys should be WWE tag team champions. Like
I think absolutely. I think as soon as they split those titles, around WrestleMania, leading up to WrestleMania 40, they split them. I think it's been weaker. I think having one set of tag titles on the main roster, then you have a full tag division. There's still some. You've lost a few. You lost New Day. You lost Machine Guns. You've lost DIY. But I think there's still a chance to like rekindle the tag division. I would like to see another. It's been a long time since the Dusty Classic, and I think it's time to do one of them. Throw some random guys together. Throw some of your LFG and Evolve guys together. You know, you've got your Sean Legacies and Dorian Van Dukes and EK Prosper who can fill those roles. You've got your Birthright guys. Throw together a couple of other teams. Have Fraxiom or a team come down from the main roster to be involved. You've got Hank and Tank who are spinning wheels, pulling faces backstage in the locker room. Like, I think it's time to have a bit of a focus on the tag division, and if that's Noam and Romeo's role, I'm okay with that.
Like after this match, Axiom and Frazier point to Noam and Romeo, and they go like, "Oh, you found a new tag partner." You could hear them say that. So Romeo looks at Noam and Dar like agrees and goes, "Yeah, we're partners now." So like I guess going forward, these two are a tag team, or at least like the friendship continues until Noam Dar turns on him. But just think of the Romeo. That sells itself, right? What's Alicia Fox doing? Can we get her back? Romeo and a fox.
TNA, it can't be too hard.
Yeah, true. So yeah, I thought the wrestling really hit with these guys, and it's weird. Like they're such a good act when it comes to wrestling. Maybe we don't know what the character is, and maybe WWE audiences, but there's got to be something you could do that gets them over, and I just don't think they've tried or cared enough to even do it. But hey, they put on a really good match here, so you can come, Fraxiom, stay here, come back to NXT. Why not fight the Vanity Project? That would be a good match. Book it. We see Kendal Gray and Ren Sinclair backstage. Ren says, "Hey Kendal, I want you to focus on the NXT Women's Championship and winning tonight against Kelani. So I'm not going to be out there to distract you. Plus, I need to focus and defend my Speed Championship." And Kendal reminds her, "Hey, you're still kind of injured." She goes, "Yeah, but I'm going to be cleared soon. So I want there to be a tournament so that I have an opponent." And that's when she walks away because Lola comes in and kind of says, "I'll be watching tonight and good luck." And Kendal keeps her eyes on the Women's Championship. But yeah, so Ren being like, "You got to do this on your own. And I don't want to distract tonight, so not coming out there, hobbling around," which is a good friend, I think.
Yeah.
We go to one of many Mr. NXT Pageant segments here tonight. This is one of the more strangest things I thought I'd ever have to review on a wrestling show, where I have to write notes about like judges, introduction, talent show thing, and public speaking. But we have different segments scattered through the show, which will culminate in an in-ring promo battle, essentially. But we have Mr. NXT Pageant, Tristan Angels, Mr. England, taking on Shiloh Hill. And we have some judges here. We have Evolve champion Aaron Rourke, who is he has the same hairstyle as me, shaved head, sort of a gingery beard, except I don't wear as much glitter as him, I don't think, but I could work on that. Next to him, someone who also wears glitter but wasn't wearing any tonight, Kit Wilson, who I will say was wearing, look, I'm not the biggest Miz fan, but I recognized this throwback Miz shirt from like 2006 or 7 or something. It's the original Chick Magnet shirt from The Miz that Kit Wilson is wearing here. See, I know my Miz ball. And next to them is, and I quote here, the fastest rising comedian, Matt Matthews. I am not familiar with Matt Matthews. Are you familiar with this man?
Not at all. I
Okay.
just got the feeling they picked the 3 campus guys they could find for this this Mr. NXT segment. And I was
Sorry, what word did you use?
Campus, yes. And I was just waiting for Frankenhooker to be a judge. And who's the other guy?
Right. Jason Hervey?
There we go. Jason Hervey. Like, where were they?
I was waiting for Jason Hervey, but yeah. So these are the 3 judges. I'm not familiar with Matt Matthews, but they mention him quite a few times here. I'm assuming he's British or with the accent, right? But yeah, a comedian here as one of the judges. But the first part of this is the walk-off, is the attire, the fit.
Yeah.
What do you call this here? I'm not a pageant type of person, but the
the catwalk kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a walk-off.
So pose off. Yeah.
So out comes Tristan Angels, Mr. England, dressed like Austin Powers in the Union Jack thong underwear, short.
Yeah, we saw wear this in the promo video last week, right?
Very nice. Doesn't quite have the chest hair like Austin Powers does, but very nice here. Shiloh shows up.
I'm going to throw the image. I don't know if this will get us like censored
banned?
on.
You're going to get the Post Wrestling account in trouble.
It's posts, so who cares?
There's a little Union Jack down there, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Mr. England, very impressive, I might say. He's showing off the bod.
That's what this comedian said. Basically, he was like, "I like your dick, but your face not so much."
Yeah, that's literally what the comedian said.
I'm not making that
up. Okay, well, I'm not making this up. So Shiloh Hill shows up in the same shorts that I'm wearing. He's wearing like, I don't want to stand up, but I fucking will. It's literally these like camo Bass Pro Shop shorts. So instantly my vote goes to Shiloh because I'm wearing the same short. I got to ask him where he got his. I think mine was Boathouse or something. Marshall's maybe? I'm not sure. But yeah, where was it? Zoomies.
Well, he follows you now after you started being nice about him on this show. So you can maybe ask him.
Shiloh, I love your fits. Shiloh wearing these shorts and then scuba gear. Not something I own though. All the judges seem to really like Shiloh's appearance and his catwalk and how he tends to be like his own person and wears what he wants kind of thing. But they decide that Mr. England gets the points for the walk-off here. And the one comedian says, yeah, I like you from the neck down. And Aaron Rourke, the very flamboyant Evolve champ, he's like, hey, yeah, you got style too. So he pretty much showed up naked, and they're like, yeah, you know, you win. So Mr. England gets the points here.
He played to the audience, you know?
Yeah.
Like he knew what these judges were after.
Yeah. Kit Wilson.
And Kit, yeah.
So that's the part 1 of the NXT pageant, and we'll see what happens. But Mr. England,
what do you think of this being as like this pre-taped, like little studio thing separate from, not in front of the arena?
I liked how they had the little thing in the corner, the barcode to go vote. It made it feel like it was one of those American Idol shows.
Yeah.
Because then you would have them standing there. You have, is it Sarah, who's like the host? And
Sarah
she's like,
Seacrest.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. It's like, okay, well, you got to make sure you vote. And it's like, if it felt like a cheesy way of them like mocking that kind of show. And I thought that was pretty funny. I thought they kind of nailed it. It looked very similar. I think it's the next one specifically where they're both standing and like posing and stuff. Like, I haven't watched American Idol in maybe 20 years, but I used to when I was young, and like it does feel like those kinds of shows. So ridiculous, and a pageant on NXT. But you know what? It was kind of funny. So I was waiting for the next one.
I was surprised this was the style they went for, because I thought it was all going to be. Part of me was even thinking that this might main event and close the show, but
yeah,
I thought it was all going to be one segment rather than split up. But you know, I like whenever we get out of the arena and some different settings and stuff. It does break up the show a bit, and this was something a little different that we haven't really seen with the judges and all that. I didn't hate this. It was silly, but I appreciated the effort here.
It was very silly, but yeah, I think it did stick the landing, especially where we go a bit later. So more on that, but Mr. England. Oh, he also had an Mr. NXT tattoo. I don't know if it's real.
He said it's on the back of his thigh, right?
Well, it showed it, but I don't know if it kind of was giving me MJF tattoo vibes here.
Yeah.
Like, is that a real tattoo or is that just a stick on, you know? So we go from the walk-off to a number one contenders match, because we're going to Mason Rook versus Naraku here on NXT, and they made it be known the winner of this goes on to face Tony D at the Great American Bash. Rook is on the offense early on. He body slams Naraku. He eventually hits this like back senton move, kind of like Samoa Joe, but he's, for a big boy, this guy definitely moves around pretty fast and jumps around on people. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. He's a bit of a beast. Naraku starts to fight back, does a backbreaker, and then there's a chop exchange between the two of them. They both start to fight up top when Mason hits a top rope power slam, which is pretty impressive, but Naraku kicks out. Eventually, there's a huge blue thunder bomb as well. Now, Rook is a big guy, but so is Evil. He's not some small guy either. So I thought this was a bit of a hoss fight here. There's then Naraku who fights back with a fireman carry into a sit-out like spine buster slam for a 2 count. Eventually, both guys are just throwing punches. Naraku hits a fisherman buster for a 2 count and then tries to go for this sleeper hold. Now, I don't know if he had it locked in or didn't, but commentary were selling the fact that he had his hand next to Mason Rook's throat here. I thought this was the one thing in this match that completely took me out of it. I was like, this move looks like shit. If that was in fact,
which move was this?
He had him in a sleeper, but didn't have him in a sleeper. He just had his hands like it's like creepy dudes in high school going up behind girls randomly, would be just putting their hands.
Right.
You know, remember those people in high school? It's like, why are you stop hugging people like that? That's what he was doing here. And Booker T was like, oh yeah, his hand is against the side of his throat. I'm like, I don't know. Like, was he trying to go for a chicken wing or something here? It looked soft. It didn't look good. That's just me nitpicking, but that was one thing that I was like, that was weird. There is a counter from that move into a cannonball stunner, like backpack thing into the corner from Rook, and then teases that he's going for like what, the Fire Thunder driver, Rikishi driver, but Cam Hendricks gets up on the apron and starts to distract here, which then allows a distraction for Naraku to hit Enter the Abyss. Everything is evil. And 1, 2, 3, Naraku pins Mason Rook and is going on to the Great American Bash to face Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah, we were predicting that this could maybe lead to a 3-way. We thought maybe some sort of schmoz finish. It looks like we're getting, obviously, Tony versus Naraku, but probably Mason Rook versus Cam Hendricks on that show as well. And I don't mind that so much if we're going to build to Rook eventually winning this title further down the line.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is a win for Naraku at Great American Bash, and maybe Tony moves up and moves on to other things. I will say, like Mason Rook, I've been really impressed by. Like, I think his presence, his promo so far, just his unique look, the way he moves for a guy his size. We've said this before, a bit of a breath of fresh air. I'm not going to pretend that Naraku Evil is one of my favorite wrestlers. He really isn't. But I'd say he's been a bit of a breath of fresh air as well, because it's been really interesting watching him in this setting, like removed from all the House of Torture bullshit, like having more straight up matches. And I think watching him here, you realize this guy is a very competent wrestler, and it's a lot of the stuff surrounding him that's just made him unbearable for the last 5, 6, 7 years in New Japan. And like, I thought this was pretty entertaining. Like, I thought you had a really strong opening tag, and I thought this continued the trend on this show of pretty strong wrestling on this. So I'm kind of excited to see what Naraku versus Tony D'Angelo looks like now, which if you told me a year ago we're going to see Evil versus Tony D on a PLE, I thought like, what are we doing? But I think both of them have changed a little bit. And I think Tony's wrestling has really stepped up. And I think Evil's kind of finally showing that actually, like, I do know how to wrestle. I do more than just a low blow and run in. So I am curious to see how that match looks. And yeah, I thought this was pretty strong.
Like, Evil finally putting on his boots, being like, okay, I can do, like, okay, he's not the most impressive wrestler, but it's still different from the way he wrestled before. So for the better, I would say. So I enjoyed this match too. This wasn't my match of the night, but I think it is refreshing having new characters on this show. Now, I think in my case, he still has the Evil stink to him, because my brain goes, okay, well, this guy is Change the Channel guy. Like, this is House of Torture shit that I didn't like when I would watch. But it's not that. It's a completely different thing here, and he's trying. So, and I really like Mason Rook. The look is very unique. Like, yeah, he's a... Where's this guy from? The UK, right?
Yeah.
London, somewhere like that, probably.
He's
right?
not London, no. He's... we talked about this, but...
yeah. Like, he comes in and reminds me of these guys doing, like I said, Samoa Joe doing the back sentons and jumping off things. And I don't know, he seems very refreshing to watch, and already at the top of my favorites on NXT in such a short amount of time. And it reminds me of like when they did bring in like a Kevin Owens or someone, and they instantly just strap the rocket and see what can happen. And I need to see this Fire Thunder driver. Again, I've watched his Instagrams and stuff before he was signed, and he was the guy who was making these like basically creative finisher moves on his Instagram, and he does some crazy stuff. So I don't know if they'll let him do the sit out tombstone, or my favorite, like the Fire Thunder driver, like the Steiner screwdriver, or the drill White Claw or whatever. Like, that's the coolest move. So hopefully that maybe they will let him do that. I don't know, but he was teasing it in this match. I think we've only seen him. I don't think we've seen him do it. So maybe Cam Hendricks is going to eat one at the Great American Bash. Unfortunately, he didn't win, but I think the story will eventually go back to Mason Rook chasing this title, whether it's Naraku or Tony D. But for now, I'm assuming Cam Hendricks is going to maybe be the recipient of this Fire Thunder driver at the Great American Bash, but we shall see. So we go from that match. Yeah, some good wrestling so far on NXT. We see backstage Miles Bourne, the North American champion, with Tavion Heights. And Tavion, who's like turned heel, but he's kind of with his friend again here.
Oh man,
hanging
he's a
out.
Dick right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is back to being a hothead here. He says Miles is like, yeah, well, it's cool that we're friends again, but basically like, I'm a champion. I gotta go like do champ shit. And Tavion's like, yeah, well, the only thing you care about is that title. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm fucking champ, man. Like, that's pretty much my job. And he goes, yeah, well, I should fight you for it. And he goes, well, maybe you could. And they're interrupted because Vanity Project come in, and Jackson Drake says, oh, you're just handing out shots to your friend, eh? It's a championship, not a charity case. And it's Tavion who steps in, but Micah shuts him down like, he's not talking to you. Or I think she says that to Miles. So then they come up with the idea, what if it's Jackson versus Tavion next week? And the winner of that goes on to face Miles at the Bash for the title. And they say, you're on. So that match is next week. And then they walk off, and Ricky Smokes says, you better watch it, buddy. And Tavion goes, buddy? I'm not your buddy. I'm not your guy, pal. Not your buddy, friend. So yeah, next week, Tavion versus Drake, winner faces. Maybe that's the match we get the triple threat between the three of them. That could be pretty good.
There are so many segments with Vanity Project where they're meant to come in and like be the heels. And I know Tavion's playing this tweener role right now. But so many times Vanity Project come in and you're like, nah, they're completely right. Like Tavion's being a complete dick. What's he done to justify having a title shot? Like, and Jackson has done way more than him. So yeah, that could actually be a pretty fun match. Jackson Drake's hit rate has been pretty solid, and it's always cool seeing Tavion throw some people around with some suplexes. So
he's gonna hit that belly to belly really nice. You know, I'd much prefer Jackson Drake versus Miles at Great American Bash. Is it too soon for me to want to see the Vanity Prophecy? Is that too soon for that? It doesn't need to be the world. It doesn't need to be the world title right now. The NXT title, but it does. We get the North American title. You know?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? They're young. Give them some gold. They already got tag titles. Jackson Drake. He's one of my favorite guys on NXT. So that match could be good next week. I kind of hope he wins. But it kind of makes more sense for Tavion, if that makes sense. Doesn't it? Like, he is a bad guy, right?
I think Tavion should win that one, yeah. Just storyline, it's been building. It's been building way more to Miles.
Exactly.
Tavion, for sure.
Yeah. We see Kendal getting ready, and Ren wishes her luck as she hobbles off. We come back from break, but before the next match, we get a video for Tate Wilder. What is this theme song? Is it "Y'all Ready for a Wild Ride"?
Wild Ride.
Man,
yeah.
We were talking about on our show on Sunday on Poisonrana. Tate Wilder's been shooting off on Twitter
shots.
about CM Punk. Oh wait, was that him? That wasn't him, was it?
Don't confuse people.
That's how dirt sheets start. No, he does look like that guy though. They look very similar, except I like this guy. I like Tate Wilder. Tate Wilder, a video for this guy. Man, this guy's wild. He loves adrenaline. He's an adrenaline junkie. He says he grew up with 5 brothers, and then he starts listing off things that he can ride and fly and stuff, like dirt bikes, skateboards, airplanes, jets. Like it felt like that one Weird Al song, Hardware Store, where he's listing everything in the quickest fashion. I'm like, wow, this guy does a lot of crazy stuff. It's got a lot of videos of him skateboarding, dirt bike riding, ATVs, all these crazy things. He says, people call me crazy. So does everyone else. They all say I'm crazy, but life is about the risks you take. And every week I want to go balls to the wall. This roster has champions, athletes, but they got me, a daredevil. And it shows him like cliff jumping. I think he was bull riding at one point. This guy, I now have seen actual footage of this guy doing the crazy adrenaline junkie daredevil type stuff. So
he's NXT's Darby Allin, right?
Yeah. I think that's the one thing I like this because for the past few weeks, they've been trying to knock us over the head with, oh, this guy's, crazy. He loves jumping out of planes and all this shit. Okay. I asked right away, I think the first time when they said that, okay, show me, jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
So at least they're showing actual clips of like stuff that he has done. I will say next week, cut a promo while you jump out of a plane. Like that's the next step. I am sorry. It's Florida. That's like easy, I'm sure, to get a permit. They've done less crazier things, but I want a promo of him in the plane. You can pre-tape this, cuts a promo, challenges someone to a match, jumps out the plane. That's what you do next with this gimmick. But the one thing you mentioned, Darby Allin, he needs to do that kind of stuff in the match. Remember last week? You criticized.
Last week
you
was
said,
way too tight.
Yeah, you're like, you didn't do anything crazy in your match. You did like a crossbody or something. I need to see him, I don't need to see Singapore canes and tables, but like jumping off something, some wrestle like he kind of wrestles like Shane McMahon anyways, but lean into that craziness. You need to show us that you're actually like a daredevil, if that makes sense. So that's the one thing that I think they could work on this character and try to make him a Darby Allin, Jeff Hardy type thing. So maybe it'll play out and could work if they do maybe lean into that. But at least we know he lives the gimmick legit. So
yep.
Get ready for a wild ride. We go to our next match. Kendal Gray versus Kelani Jordan for the #1 contendership. The winner faces Lola Vice for the NXT Women's Championship. As Kelani's already in the ring, but Kendal making her entrance, gets in the ring, and Kelani jumps her before the bell, but the match starts. Kelani counters some of Kendall's attempts here with some handstands. Both of them are flipping out of each other's moves. Eventually, there's this really fast stomp from Kelani, which was really cool. But Kendal comes back with a Rana out of the corner, showing some fast-paced action of her own here. Kelani does this twisting neck breaker on the outside and continues to beat down on her. Gets her back into the ring, but Kendal starts to fight back, fires up with these belly-to-bellies, all the big suplexes. The straps come down. It's Suplex City, the back suplexes. I don't even know what some of these are, where she's like grabbing you from like the leg or crotch area and just throws you any limb or body part. Kendal Gray will grab you and throw you across the ring. German suplexes. She's going ham here. Eventually, Kelani comes back with a super kick and then this springboard into a cutter into the ring, which was nice. Hits the not so 5-star splash, but like a 3-star splash here that looked really nice, but it's only a 2 count. She goes up top again, but gets caught into this armbar off the top from Kendal, then transitions into
nice.
it. Yeah, it was so nice. She transitions it. Kelani eventually escapes and turns it into like some sort of leg submission, almost like the Prism Trap or some sort of lasso from El Paso kind of thing. It looked cool. Eventually, though, Kendal gets out of that and turns it into the ankle lock, like she's the daughter of Kurt Angle right here. Eventually, there's all these sorts of counters and roll-up attempts, but it's when they both get to their feet, and this finish here was so clean, where they countered each other's counters, which ultimately leads to the Shades of Grey, the jumping flatliner, which allows Kendal Gray to pin Kelani Jordan and will go on to face Lola. But this was awesome. Kendal Gray is just on this incredible run on NXT. Like, she should be NXT Women's Champion sooner rather than later, and she should be a huge star in WWE as soon as people see her on the main roster. But it was either this or the opening tag match that was my match of the night of this show. But Kelani Jordan, Kendal Gray, these two, whenever they wrestle, usually don't miss, and here they are fighting each other. I thought this was great.
Yeah, very good. And I think still left room for a rematch. I think there's still stuff in the tank for a bigger match. But yeah, man, both their transitions into some of the submissions, both these women were pulling off, the counters. I think Kelani is looking way less choreographed than she used to. She's always been impressive with the like acrobatics and stuff, whereas I think she's so much more fluid now and comes across as a proper wrestler, and just really good chemistry here with Kendal. I was surprised with the finish. I thought we were going to get Kelani defeating Lola for this title at Great American Bash.
Me too.
And then Kendal being on the chase. So now I'm not so sure. It's a bit of a weird dynamic. Two baby faces against each other. And I feel for Lola in a way, because I think just Kendall's way more popular right now than Lola. But obviously it is playing against their TV match they had. That was excellent. That went to a bit of a draw, right? So yeah, I was kind of surprised with the finish here, but curious where they go with it.
Yeah, I think maybe last week we were even wondering, like, would they tease, or they kind of did with the Ren stuff, like, oh, I'm not going to get involved. Like, would she actually turn? And I'm glad that they didn't do that, at least not yet. But I was shocked by the finish. The finish reminded me was it Jeff Hardy and Randy, like all these years ago, they had a title match at like the Rumble, and so many times people would emulate this finish. It felt like them trying to do their own version, where I think it's Jeff goes for the twist of fate, so he has it, and then the move is you twist around, but then Randy counters that and hits the RKO. Yeah. It was kind of the same thing here, that these two, it looked good. I would love to see a rematch of this, but Kendal Gray continues to impress. These are probably my two favorite on the women's side on NXT here. and
Yeah,
they
me
put
too.
on a stellar match. So I think down the line this could be like a stand and deliver women's championship match. Months if months go by with these two. But yeah, two of my favorites here. Really put on a good match, and I was shocked, and I would like to see Kendal win, but I don't know. Maybe that's where Ren stops her from winning. But then that kind of, I think if you were to just do Kendal and Lola, people might just cheer for Kendal now.
That's my worry with it, right?
Yeah.
Like it kind of, Lola's popular, but she's been kind of bland as this champion.
Yeah.
And I like her, and I don't want to say that, but she has been bland on this run. But I don't want to see Kendal be a babyface for this. I don't feel it would feel as impactful, right? So I could possibly see either Lola turning heel in this match to retain, or Kelani getting involved and somewhat throwing it out.
Heel Lola. That could be.
We haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah. Well, we go from that to the next part of the Mr. NXT pageant, and this is the talent show, where each contestant has to show us their talent. Is this what they actually do in pageants? I've seen Miss Congeniality.
Oh yeah,
and I know they do talent shows there. What would you do if you
play the piano? I
you
do
play
a
the
podcast
piano
about NXT.
People show your talent, and it's just you set up a StreamYard, and it's like, so Kelani Jordan and Kendal Gray had this awesome match. The straps came down, the suplexes. Oh yeah, like 4.25 stars. Yeah, that's good shit.
Yeah.
Wow, this guy's talented. So much talent in reviewing wrestling. Shiloh Hill comes out first here for the talent show, and he pulls out a Rubik's Cube, and you only have like a minute to show your talent here. And he goes, I could do this Rubik's Cube. I can finish this Rubik's Cube in a minute. And he pulls out the Rubik's Cube and does it in about 15, 20 seconds and says, oh, I guess I have time to show off another talent. So then pulls out those yo-yo stick things, and he's playing around with this yo-yo thing with two hands and a stick. And then this is when Tristan shows up, and he shoves him and goes, oh, this is rubbish. What is this talent? So he grabs the Rubik's Cube and tries to do it, but he can't figure it out. So he smashes the Rubik's Cube on the floor, and then he starts to juggle, but he's not necessarily the best juggler. I mean, he's better than I am. But as he's juggling, Shiloh Hill drives by riding a unicycle. And therefore, all the judges and everyone in the audience here starts to scream and cheer. So Shiloh Hill unanimously wins the talent show part of the NXT pageant. I love how Tristan Angel shows up to a pageant here, and it's a talent show portion, and his talent is, let me try to do what the other guy did. Let me try to do your Rubik's Cube.
I found that disappointing, because I thought we were going to get the sheep shearing. You know, he's brought it up enough. Oh, I can shear 100 sheep in 3 minutes or whatever it was. Like, come on. Especially considering this was a pre-taped thing. Like, and you could have maybe had, like, the sheep shearing's going well, and then one of the sheep shits on the floor and puts off the judges. So Shiloh unicycles past and wins. I don't know. I thought I did like the unicycle thing, but I really thought we should have had some sheep shearing here.
Do they have sheep in Florida? They must, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Like, I feel like maybe that was asking too much to get a live animal. Like, maybe that's just something they don't want to do. Maybe on WWE main roster eventually, but which, I don't know. When's the last time they've had a live animal? Like, not talking like a dog, but like, I don't think a sheep. Again, this is a pre-taped thing. You could film it at a farm or something, but I need to see this guy shear a sheep at one point. It will happen, but unfortunately it wasn't tonight. It's impressive that Shiloh Hill can do all these things. I'm going to assume this was a gimmicked Rubik's Cube for television, but I bet he could actually do it. Some people are really good at it. I'm really not.
Have that talent.
I'm not good at it at all. But the unicycle thing, I don't understand how people do that at all either. So
I think I can't. I mean, I'm saying this. I can't really even ride a bike.
You don't even ride a bike, yeah.
I think I'd find the unicycle easier than the Rubik's Cube.
Really? Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Still interesting that he could do it. Pretty funny. But Shiloh Ho wins. Next is public speaking. It'll be back into the ring. I also thought this was going to be the main event. It's like, women's North American title. Who cares about that? I want to know who wins Mr. NXT Pageant.
Who's Mr. NXT? Yeah.
Exactly. So Tony D is backstage, NXT champion. Remember him? He's talking here, and he's quickly interrupted. He said he watched the match earlier, and now he knows that Naraku is coming for the NXT gold, when he's interrupted by the man himself, Naraku, who hands him a little box envelope thing, and he goes, "What is this?" And he bows to Tony, and then he walks off. So now another message. Does it mean war? Means battle? He's taking him into the abyss at Great American Bash. I'd be scared if this guy shows up, gives you this, and then bows to you, smirks, and walks off. It's like, oh, what's this guy doing? What are you going to do to me? So Tony D and Naraku for Great American Bash.
So you think we're getting a stip, maybe?
I don't think so.
A war match?
War match? They just play like the card game War?
Yeah.
Sick.
I don't know.
Yeah. What would a war match be? Like fucking guns and tanks?
Drones.
Next match. Jasper Troy versus Dion Lennox. We see Jasper Troy was attacked last week. A vicious beatdown. Remember, he got this attack. Some of it was off camera.
Didn't he have a bookcase dropped on him?
Yeah. They just wanted him to read more. That was it. So Jasper and Dion here.
We've seen people written off TV with far less.
Yes.
Like for months. And
but this guy's back.
This guy has a bookcase dropped on him, and he's like, I'm going to have a match next week.
So they're saying he's pretty upset, and he's not so smiley as he's kind of been the last few weeks. Jasper Troy's pissed that Dark State did this to him. So tonight he's looking to get some revenge on Dion. And Vic Joseph cracked me up here. They go, "This match is sponsored by Progressive, and Dion Lennox might need some insurance after tonight." I thought that was pretty good. Dion is on the attack early. He's trying to go after Jasper because maybe he's still hurt from the attack. But there's not a whole lot going on in this match. There's some rest holds and some weird guillotine. When Saquon Sugar shows up on the Titantron here, and he goes, "Hey, Dion, you better watch your back, because when did he say when Saquon strike, ain't nobody safe?" But then the video starts to glitch. Not quite the not the rainbow wheel of death, but like a buffering circle. And you think it's something going on. You can hear people in the audience are kind of laughing, like, "Oh, are they fucking up?" But it's all a ruse. It's a trick, because Sugars is actually now behind Osiris and attacks him with the baseball bat and runs out, as Dion couldn't stop him from attacking Osiris. And Sugars says, "You ain't safe." So the feud between Dark State and them continue. Sorry, I think the match actually continued too, but that's how much I didn't like this match. It ended up with...
He won the match first, and then he won with like a scoop slam on Jasper Troy, and then this post.
Dion won with this like big slam.
You had Saquon say he's like, during the match he comes up on the screen and says he's watching and you don't know when I'll strike. And then after Dion won the match, which he won with this scoop slam, which this wasn't sold at all. It was meant to be like an impressive feat of strength, him lifting Jasper Troy up. But commentary really didn't sell it as this big move, like whole slamming Andre the Giant, and crowd didn't react to it. Crowd were chanting for Dark State most of the time in this match. No one gave a shit about Jasper Troy. And that's when we had the video come up of the buffering and Saquon now taking out Osiris. So now both of them are out, and it's just Saquon and Dion left.
I think this is working for Sugars. Like, this is a storyline that will help him be on his own post this feud. Like once we get out of getting revenge on Dion and all that in Dark State, like I think Sugars could be a good character here on NXT. But this was my least favorite part of the show. Jasper and Dion aren't the flashiest wrestlers by any means. I could see different parts of this match, which wasn't long by at all. You could see there was parts where they maybe forgot where they were. I don't know exactly what happened, but you could see they were trying to talk to each other and maybe go over where they were in this match. It was a little sloppy, and I thought this was the low point of tonight's episode. And I don't really see it with Jasper Troy, unfortunately. I know they tried him being really mean and angry with the chains, and then he was really happier and smiling, and then now he's gone back to, like, I don't know what is his character. What is he getting better at wrestling? Does he have a character other than he just walks around with these comically oversized chains? I don't know what, like, he just lost here. So I can't see him doing anything above this going forward on NXT.
Yeah, I didn't like this. This was definitely the low point on this show. Jasper Troy, like he showed some improvements. I think the stuff he did in the speed division was probably the most interesting thing because you're just getting great cruiserweights like bump around for him. But this was so bland. Like no one, like people were into the heel more than him in the match. Mm-hmm. People were just waiting for Saquon to come out. And yeah, like it's, I'm somewhat interested in Sugars versus Dion. Like I'm looking forward to seeing what Saquon can do in a singles run and if people get behind him. And Lennox has shown glimpses of like being impressive, but yeah, this is one of the least interesting stories for me.
Yeah, I kind of agree. We get a video of, oh, I know you love this though. The dungeon. Natalia's at the dungeon doing her training school for wrestlers. And Jada Parker shows up unannounced, gets in the ring, and they squabble up. She drops Natalia. They start to fight. There's a big pull apart. And Jada's like shouting at her, like, hey, look, you came in and remember last week she kind of talked down to her and kind of shut her up with that promo. So Jada clearly rattled Jada enough to go attack Natalia at work here at the dungeon.
Okay, I have no combat sport experience. You know, I've not trained to be a wrestler or anything like that. So maybe I'm missing something, but I feel no one would have to teach me how to apply an ankle lock.
Was that what she was doing?
Yeah, she's like, all right, and what you do is you grab them by the ankle and then you twist it. And she's like demonstrating an ankle lock. And I'm like, of all the moves, I feel there are more intricate submissions that are like really skilled in how to apply correctly. Right. Whereas an ankle lock, don't you just grab the foot and twist it round? Maybe I'm wrong. And please correct me. Those of you with experience, tell me that there's way more.
Yeah, I think you're wrong here.
Am I?
I think, I'm always the one, and I'm always the one like, that guy doesn't look like he could beat me up. I always say that when it comes to like wrestlers and movies and shit. Like, I saw the Robert Pattinson Batman. I'm like, fucking Team Edward's gonna beat me up. Fuck off, Batman. And you're always like, yeah, well, like, they probably would. And then I go, yeah, they probably would. But still, I feel like here, yeah, you need to teach people how to do proper submissions. Of course, you can't have. That's why half these indie wrestlers suck. That's why
come on.
So half these people can't wrestle because they don't know how to do these moves. That's how injuries happen. So I'm just saying, maybe it's not the most. I mean, would it be too on the nose for her to be mid sharpshooter explaining to someone?
I mean, it would make more sense, but unfortunately, she can't really apply that too well either. So,
I need to see Maddie put you in a sharpshooter.
I didn't mind this segment. Her teaching at the new dungeon and Jada coming in, it like getting Simone back. Like, yeah, it was fine. And we're getting the dungeon match next week.
Yeah. I actually did like this as well. Like, it's going to her. I like when they go to outside. Like, remember think back, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, when they would fight in the gym, and it was like the security camera footage and shit.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that, where it's like she's attacking her in her own gym. But
Kyle O'Reilly drinking beer in the woods with Von Wagner.
I missed that. Yeah. Oh man, can he join the conglomeration?
The good old days, eh? Oh man,
come Tuesdays.
The conglomeration, yeah.
He could be Ishii.
He should be Ishii's tag partner. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the dungeon I've been seeing, they're getting a lot of praise. Natalya, TJ, like I know we have a bunch of Canadian wrestlers up here, obviously in Toronto and the Ontario wrestling scene, but I know that like the dungeon has been getting some love and some shine and training people and stuff. I think back to the Brody Jr. match, WrestleMania weekend with Joey Janela. They were the ones training him, and like I thought that kid looked awesome. So I don't know if Natalya's teaching promo classes, but she can definitely teach people some ankle locks. All right, let her teach. Yeah. I would love to get in the ring and learn a thing or two from. I need to see Natalya put you in a sharpshooter. I think that would be an all-time encounter. We'll make it happen.
In an ankle lock.
Yeah. Yeah, you show Natalya how to do an ankle lock. So we go from that. So that match is next week. Jada versus Natty. But are you ready? We're going to find out who the next Mr. NXT is right after the break.
This is the main event, right? Yeah.
The real main event. Mr. NXT. And now we are in the ring as, how do you describe the blow up here? The glow up for both of these men. But Mr. England, Tristan Angels, this hair, oh my goodness. It's this blonde hair that is, how do you do this? Is this a perm? Is this not a perm, like
it's
blow dry?
Blow dried, right? Yeah.
Wow, it is blown up.
Straightened and blow dried, I imagine.
Straightened and blow dried, blonde hair.
That's what I think, yeah. Some serum in there, maybe.
Some black oil. Suit, and it's got like sparkles all over it, and then a red bow tie to boot there. Very nice. He says, order. So here's the public speaking, and they basically cut a promo, and then once this is done, we will find out who wins. So he cuts his promo here, order, as the Performance Center is just booing him very loudly. He says that I was born a humble sheep shearer, but that's why I can relate to these pigs in the NXT universe. And says, today happens to be my 23rd birthday, and I even got Mr. NXT tattooed on my leg. And you see, I am what Mr. NXT embodies. I am what Mr. NXT should look like, not Shiloh Hill. His smile looks like a unfinished jigsaw puzzle. And all of these people boo and says, if you don't think that I should be Mr. NXT, you all should take a long walk off a short cliff. As the crowd continues to boo him here. But now, it's Shiloh Hill's turn. Shiloh, also dressed to the nines here. A fantastic outfit.
Can I just pause for a sec on this this Tristan?
On Tristan? Yeah.
Okay. Call me crazy here. I've got the picture up right now. This is Tristan. He just turned 23?
23.
Yeah.
That's Pete Dunne, bro.
Yeah. I was going to say, in another 30, 40 years, I think this man becomes Riff Raff from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, my God. Not Riff Raff the rapper, but Riff Raff from, yeah.
Am I wrong? Even similar outfit, the all black, the long blonde hair.
I think this dude looks like Pete Dunne. Like, I think they could be related if you were to tell me that Mr. England and Pete Dunne, whose name is England, by the way. Conspiracy? Conspiracy. I think his gimmick is Mr. England because it's probably his real last name because he looks exactly like Pete Dunne to me. Just with this glorious. He looks like he could be doing a magic show with tigers in Vegas with this outfit and hair, but I thought it looked good. Okay, but what about Shiloh Hill's outfit here? What even is this outfit? We've
seen him in this before, haven't we?
Yeah, it's like but now he's stepped it up a little bit. He's changed it. He's got the flaming Guy Fieri inspired top hat, And then he's got the Bass Pro Shop tie, but then he's got a tiger vest on. Like, think of a vest that you wear when you go to like a wedding or a dress shirt or whatever. Like a vest, but it's tiger on it. He has a microphone. He says, life goes pretty fast and things change really quickly. When I got here, I was hacking computers. I was doing ladder stilts. And I was fixing and unfixing cars. And now I'm riding unicycles. It's kind of like I've been having trouble finding myself. But that's what NXT is all about. NXT and life as a whole. Shiloh's dropping knowledge right now. And you see, you can't have it all figured out. But sometimes in life and NXT, you gotta roll with the punches and adapt and hit back harder. And the crowd erupt in applause for Shiloh Hill. Oh my God, I'm crying thinking about this. Back here.
Goosebumps, just you recalling it to me right now.
The judges go crazy. This Matt Matthews comedian guy says, hey, I'm from the trailer park too. You get my vote. You're just so good. But then says, Mr. England, your blowout hair is really nice, considering your hair usually looks like ramen noodles. But I got to give the point to Shiloh Hill for that one. Kit Wilson says, Tristan, Mr. NXT? Yes, boy. So Kit votes for Tristan England. I think he says, something about you is familiar. You're British, you're handsome, you're flamboyant, and you got great blonde hair.
Yeah.
Remind me of someone. Yes, boy. So it's 1-1 here. But now it comes down for Aaron Rourke, the Evolve champion, who says, Shiloh, I love that you love yourself and embrace the weird. So I vote for you. No, I think he says, I can't vote. I can't do this. I need to leave it up to the audience. So the crowd start to cheer for Shiloh Hill, and then they show the voting, and the winner is, drum roll, please, Mr. NXT is Shiloh Hill.
Wow.
But as he celebrates, they give him the sash, and he's attacked instantly from Mr. England, who then grabs a chair, attacks him with the chair, and hits his finishing move, the stomp with the knee to the chair, as he holds up the Mr. NXT sash. As the crowd boo Tristan Angels out of the damn building here. I thought this was so much fun. This was probably my favorite part of the three of them. Least favorite being the talent show one. It was still funny, but maybe too silly for me, maybe. Whereas this one, Shiloh Hill literally cutting a promo on himself, NXT, kind of breaking the fourth wall a little bit, giving a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, as we say every time we review this show, is like, this is developmental. It's where you're supposed to find yourself, etc., etc. So to cut that into a promo here and like try to, get the people to cheer, I thought that was pretty funny and pretty sly. So I thought it was pretty good.
So what do you think?
Silly.
We're going to Great American Bash Hell in a Cell between these two?
First blood.
There we go.
Yeah, what would the match be? What gimmick? Just like he used a chair, but like could just a no DQ.
I mean,
hair v hair.
You know what I could see? I wonder if they would. But a hog pen match, something similar to that.
Oh my God.
The Hunter Helmsley, was it Phineas Godwin? Yeah. Like I could maybe see them do something along those lines. You can imagine it ending with this Tristan Angels guy covered in shit and hay and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
I
could see that.
I don't know if we're going to get that at the Great American Bash, but maybe this feud continues and then it gets into that. But I do imagine this match is added to that PLE. But Tristan Angels, considering he said he's turned 23 today, he seems pretty decent at like
confident.
Yeah, he seems really charismatic, pretty confident. Even his wrestling was pretty decent. The move that he hit here looked good. So honestly, I am a fan already of him. And Shiloh Hill has definitely turned around. I did like his promo talking about finding yourself and mentioning the computer hacking and all that silly stuff. So this was different, and they took a chance, and I think it helped both characters and got people invested in kind of seeing where we go with them. So I guess ultimately is a success with the NXT pageant. But who did you vote for? Be honest. Who did you vote for?
You know, it was so close for me. I couldn't call it. I really couldn't.
Yeah,
and it was so quick. I wanted. You asked me after part 2, and I was like, I can't vote yet. I need to wait until we've seen everything.
Like, it's not fair for me to vote yet. Yeah.
By the time they given their speeches, you know, it was. I guess a lot of people were logging on at the same time. I just couldn't. I couldn't get through.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know how these things work, anyways, right? Like, the winner, sure, they won, but what do they really win, right? No one remembers the winner. It's always the runner-ups that go on to have successful careers, right?
Yeah.
Like
that's true. That's true.
Like Kelly did win. Shit. Fuck. I don't even know if Ruben Studdard, did he win?
He won. Yeah.
He won.
Daltrey, he didn't win, did he?
He didn't win, and I'd say he went pretty far.
He did all right. Jennifer Hudson, she did pretty good.
William Hung.
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy who went, she bangs, she bangs.
That's Ricky Martin.
Yeah, but never mind.
What? One Direction?
What do you mean, One Direction?
They were runners-up of X Factor. They came like
third. X Factor, right.
Your boy Ollie Murs.
Ollie Murs, right? Was he a runner-up?
He was same season. I think he came second.
Wow.
One Direction third, and I think Little Mix won that year. I might be wrong.
Wow. Well, there you go, Mr. NXT. I would have. It was a tough one. I definitely liked the Austin Powers Union Jack undies, but the unicycle, the Rubik's Cube, and the heart-wrenching promo at the end, I vote for Shiloh Hill too. So, Mr. NXT. He's got to get his lick back, though. I was pretty upset that he didn't get to celebrate after winning, considering. But there you go. We go backstage. Naraku is with Mr. Stone, and a good boss here. Mr. Stone is like, "Hey, what did you give to Tony? Like, what was that? I just want to make clear, like, what's in the box?" And he's like, "It's an invitation to battle." He's like, "All right, cool." And Keanu Carver shows up, and he's like, "Oh, what do you know about battle?" And Stone says, "Hey, we're not doing this here, please." No. So Naraku walks off. And he says, "You know what, Stone? I need some competition here. I need you to line him up and I'll knock him down. And if you don't got people to pick to fight me, then I'll just start picking people myself. And you don't want that." So Stone's like, "All right, fine. I'll find some people for you to fight. Hopefully. But maybe Naraku down the line. You could see another big hoss fight, possibly." Next week, we get Vanity Project's Jackson Drake versus Tavion Heights, Natalia, or just Natty, versus Jada Parker, Tony and Naraku face-to-face, and then a speed tournament kicks off. Ariana Grace and Layla Diggs, and then Izzy and Thea Hale, Izzy Damon Thea Hale. And that's when it cuts to Izzy watching this and learning that she's in the speed tournament.
Why the fuck am I in the speed tournament?
Izzy Dame with the most honest response to being in the speed tournament. "That's random. Why am I in this?" Those are her legit words. "That's random. Why am I in this?" What the fuck? I don't want this speed title. I was just trying to go after the women's world title and then the North America title. What's going on here? Nico is like, "Oh, I don't know." When Sean Spears comes in and goes, "That's because I got you this match. See, I'm not useless. I booked you in a match and this is an easy dub. This is a layup. You got this." And you can still see that Izzy and Nico are kind of like,
He was saying, like, "Look, you're not eligible to go for the world title right now because
you suck.
That's already taken. So
yeah,
take this for now. Some gold.
Yeah.
You said we wanted gold."
I want the gold. I think they got to kick this guy out. I think this group needs to disband.
He had quite the shiner. Did you notice? Like, his eye was pretty green.
That. Yeah, I hope he's all right. Damn. Well, yeah, I don't want him to be. I don't want the chairman to be hurt, but is like just because I don't like his character right now on this TV show. I mean, like, I hope he's okay. He's just kind of looking like Shawn Michaels a little bit there for a second. But we go to our main event: NXT Women's North American Championship on the line. The champion Tatum Paxley defending against Zaria. We have quite the costumes in this match. Zaria coming out with the Mad Max red inspired everything, all red everything, but more braids in like the front of her hair and like extra red, extra destruction in the makeup and stuff. And the champion Tatum Paxley coming out with, I thought it was Sailor Moon inspired, but it's, or like a Vampirella or something, but it's Rouge from Sonic. She's like a vampire Sonic character here. Pretty cool looking gear from Tatum Paxley. She gets in the ring. We get the introductions for the title match. And right away, Zaria goes for the F5. Tatum manages to slip out, but eats the spear. But it's only a 2 count. So the match continues. Zaria just on the attack now, beating her down, throws her into the outside, and throws her upside down into the barricade. Throws her back into the ring, but Paxley tries to fight back with the stomps into the step, and we go into commercial break as Zaria kind of rises from the ashes. That old school NXT shot of the person just appearing out of nowhere.
I hate it, and I'm getting very bothered by Zaria's facials in a lot of these matches.
She's just so
big
mean,
eyes. It's the
angry
teeth. It's very over the top for me, and it's a Shawn Michaels thing, right? Like it's these moments, and I'm kind of over them. But
it was funny how they set it up though, because as she did it, you have Vic be like, "What the hell? We gotta go," and then it goes to commercial. So if you weren't watching P&P, you just assume she rises from the dead. If you did, she does in fact rise because she gets into the offense. Zaria is in control, attacking the back of Paxley. Hits a Canadian backbreaker here. Very nice. But Paxley comes back with a pop-up DDT, a bunch of enziguris and Liger rolling kicks, goes for her 450, lands on her feet, and gets speared again, but kicks out. The ref keeps getting in their face, and I wasn't sure if it was because the ref was like, "Yo, you better start fucking go home. Go home. You're not listening." But it was just weird that he kept trying to get involved into their faces when the action was happening. I'm like, "Yo, dude, get out of there." It eventually leads to Tatum gaining control and setting up Zaria in the Tree of Woe, and hits a very cool looking coast to coast, but Zaria kicks out. They're fighting on the outside when Tatum goes for a moonsault, but misses, lands no water in the pool, and then eats the F5 on the outside, gets thrown back into the ring. A huge third spear from Zaria, followed up by another F5, or the zone of destruction, as she calls it. And 1, 2, 3, and new NXT Women's North American Champion, Zaria. She's finally done it. The story is finished here. She's been chasing this title for, over a year in storyline, and she finally has done it at the expense of Tatum Paxley. But yeah, what'd you think of our main event?
I didn't think it was bad. I think this is the right move. I think strapping up Zaria. I almost thought we were going to get a bit of Brock Kofi, and it was like bell rings and Zaria just
they teased it. Yeah,
and I almost think I'd have preferred that in a way. Not say that this match was bad. I thought there was some good stuff in there. I'm not sold by Zaria still. It's just doesn't quite click with me. I don't think she wrestles as much like the beast she's presenting, and I've said that I find her acting a little over the top and the facials and stuff. But this was a pretty good back and forth, and there were some cool spots. I like Tatum a lot. I think she's come a long way. I think this is the right moment for her to drop it and to strap up Zaria. I just find there are a lot more women on this roster that I'm more invested in at the moment than Zaria.
Yeah, Zaria is a weird one because I think when she came in to NXT, it was like, look at this Mad Max, like apocalyptic Rhea Ripley kind of character. I mean, she is also Australian, but like I can see comparisons. Obviously, big, brooding Australian lady. She doesn't have quite as many tattoos, but she's got the face paint and the colors and stuff. But she hasn't come in and been this destructive force. She came in and then became friends with the surfer and did TikToks, and instantly any of that, if you want to use the word aura or whatever the character was instantly just like out the window. And now you're trying to go backwards with that Sol Ruka feud where they broke up and she's gone back to just being the mean Zaria and the mean lady, when she doesn't come across like she should be booked like Goldberg. She should be booked like Brock, like just crushing people and stuff, because that might also protect her. I didn't think this was a bad match by any means either. I think maybe one of her better ones, in fact. But
yeah, I agree.
I still find she's not necessarily
I prefer
fitting
this to the Soul match, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Tatum Paxley, kind of a sleeper hit on NXT. There's a reason the crowd are behind her. She's good. She's like guaranteed a good match when Tatum is in the main event. I think I'm definitely turning the page. Like, we've already made her champion and now North American champion. I don't know what else is left for Tatum Paxley other than to move her up as well to the main roster at this point. I don't know what else she can do here in NXT. But she, and I mean that because she's great. She's stepped up in every way, shape, or form. And I think maybe people might be in she was trying to be like a nerdy vampire girl kind of goth gimmick thing. Could probably work on the main roster, whatever she's doing. Like, sure. But the wrestling has stepped up. Zaria, I think this is the right decision. Go through this run of just crushing people, and maybe that's the best thing. But this wasn't a bad match. It wasn't my favorite on the show. I thought this show was really good. Probably one of my favorite NXTs in a long time. Simply because there was decent wrestling. Wow. I watch wrestling because I like actual wrestling, and I got that. I loved the tag match with Fraxiom, Noam Dar, and Romeo Moreno, and I loved Kendal Gray and Kelani Jordan in that number one. And Mason Rook and Naraku was pretty interesting as well. Nothing on this show pissed me off, and that is a plus when I watch NXT on Tuesdays. So dare I say, one of my better episodes in a little while here on TV.
Yeah, I thought it was strong. I thought the low point was Dion and Jasper Troy, and even the backstage stuff was kind of fun. You know, the Mr. NXT stuff. But you had like 3-4 really pretty strong matches on this show this week.
Yeah, no, the wrestling really was. The wrestling was here tonight. They showed up with some of this stuff. And looking ahead to Great American Bash, we got Tony D'Angelo and Naraku, right?
Yeah.
Kendal Gray. Yeah, so we got some things.
Imagine Mason and Cam Hendricks.
True.
Probably added. Yeah.
Tag match, maybe?
Oh, probably Tristan and Shiloh, maybe.
True. Oh, Miles Bourne versus Jackson Drake or Tavion. Yeah, that too. So we'll know. We still have a few more weeks until this one. We will probably not do a review that night of Great American Bash just because it's Forbidden Door and everything going on. I'm sure John and Wei will be doing a Forbidden Door show, but we will do a review of it possibly the Monday. We'll probably have to get closer to kind of figure that out. But Great American Bash, hopefully they add some more fun stuff to it. The first one being on TV, I think that will help them, especially if they are trying hey, let's go up against the competition. Being on cable TV, it helps more people watching it because it's free to them, essentially. So I think it could work, gain some new eyes with the Great American Bash. But there you go. That was us talking about NXT from tonight. We also have a feedback thread. We have a Poisonrana Facebook page. You can like it. You can join the group. I think the answers are Paulie, William Regal, and Ralph the Raccoon, if I'm not mistaken. I see one
Sounds
from...
about right.
Yeah, if not, you don't even need to type them in. I'll probably let you join the group anyways. But we post things in there, and we have feedback threads. And I see one person is written in, and of course, it is Megan, who says... What was in the water tonight? Usually I'd expect 1, maybe 2 good matches every Tuesday, but getting 3 very good matches resulted in one of the best episodes of NXT in a while. The Shiloh Tristan pageant was okay. Nice to see Aaron Rourke stop by. Romeo Moreno found his lane in the tag division with Dar, and Fraxiom are fantastic when given the chance. The fantastic opener set it off. Kendal Gray and Kelani Jordan smoked it yet again. Naraku got his title shot with some unwanted assists from that dick bag Cam Hendricks. Nice, Megan. Dick bag. I like that. I like that a lot. He says, and Zaria got her vindication as the new women's North American champion. One has to wonder what lies ahead for Tatum Paxley. Main roster? Mayhaps. Speculate wildly. Side note, I loved Tatum's Rouge the Bat look. Shout out Sonic Adventure 2. The bash is shaping up pretty well. Thank you, Megan. Appreciate it. And I guess, the Sonic. I'm not caught up on my Sonic lore. Haven't seen the movies. But
I imagine as well, with this being the first CW NXT PLE, that they are going to treat it as a pretty big deal, right? So you're going to have some big matches on that show.
Fraxiom versus Vanity Project. Let's add that.
Why not? Yeah, that sounds good.
Right? Like that.
Yeah.
They just won the match tonight. That kind of puts them in some sort of thing, right? Like, I don't know. I would book it, but yeah. I think Megan agrees with us. This was a stronger episode of NXT, and the wrestling definitely shined through. And hopefully they can keep this momentum. I like a lot of the newer stuff and flipping things out, getting rid of stuff that's not working, putting new things on TV like Mason Rook and Naraku. Kendal Gray really working lately with NXT TV. So there's some good stuff happening on Tuesday nights. And thank you for following us. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. We do this every Tuesday night. We'll be back next Tuesday night talking all about some NXT, and the show goes on as always. And we can't do it without the Postmarks and NXT friends out there. I see you all in the chat. Appreciate you following us. We also will be live Monday at 1 p.m. and we have tons of other podcasts. Poisonrana.ca for links of everything else that we do. Check out our social media, our Instagram, even our TikTok at PoisonRanaPod. Shout out to our friend Seren, who just recently had a birthday. Seren has been helping us with our social media and reels and things, and just absolutely been knocking it out the park. So go check out some of the content that we've been creating with Mr. Seren W.O. Appreciate you, and I hope the birthday was good, my brother. But that is it. That is all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. Nixon 5. And don't be a dickbag.
Ahoy!